Okay, here we are on G20. We're going to go up the mountain. We're going to do the G20 loop. We'll do it counterclockwise today. Probably doesn't look steep on camera. A stick? This is trail 4. Tells me that the puddles are going to be deep today. So I've started feeding the crows at my house. Crows or ravens, I don't know what the difference is. I tried to look on the internet and see what the physical differences are, but they're still pretty tough to tell whether it's a crow or raven. 2 or 3 of them in the yard, and they don't seem to be very scared of me, so I started feeding them. There's the big rock right there. So I started feeding the crows, and they seem to show up almost at the same time every day, morning and the afternoon, and so I've been feeding them, and now when they see me come out of the door with the little treat jar, they come flying right up. I had one yesterday. He flew up. I wasn't even finished putting the food out yet. He flew up and hung out on my gutter watching me until I put his food down, and then as soon as I went inside, he came over and started gobbling it up. So they're pretty tall. It's some good-sized birds. They're maybe gotta be a foot, 18 inches tall. The other birds hate them though. That's the only... There goes a woodpecker. The only problem with inviting them around the house is the other birds hate them because they tear up their nests and steal the eggs. There's some big tracks back there in the mud. So I went on the internet and started poking around, and there were some videos of people who befriend the crows, and then the crows will start bringing them gifts. So they'll start bringing them shiny objects and leaving them for the people, and they think it's to thank the people for feeding them, taking care of them. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get a Rolex watch. God, you never know how deep these puddles are. So I'll have to shoot some videos of the crows. I've got some still pictures of them from the trail cam. They're shiny, shiny black. Really pretty birds. I think there's two of them that are a couple because they're always hanging out together. Yeah, this ought to be fun. Man, that's deep. So I have a new hobby, hanging out with the hanging out with the crows. So people said you just have to be consistent with them. If you feed them all at the same time and use the same call every day to tell them that you're around, they'll start to show up. So I guess the goal is to have them come right up to me and let me hand feed them. And I'll tell you, it's been probably less than a week, maybe a week at the most, and they're already starting to get friendly. They don't even seem to run away when I come out on the deck anymore. If they're in the backyard and I come out on the deck, they won't take off. They're really smart birds. So that's another thing you can check out on YouTube is crows solving puzzles and problems. You give them, they'll make these puzzles where the bird has to solve the puzzle to get a peanut. It doesn't take them long to figure it out. I have to say they're probably smarter than most dogs. Dog would probably just give up on a puzzle. But they put like a cage together with bars, and they put the peanuts inside so they can't reach them with their beak. And then they just put a stick out, and the crow picks up the stick, sticks it in between the bars, and fishes out a peanut using a stick. Oh God, that's funny. That's pretty smart. Using tools. Another one I saw was they had like a round glass cylinder that was clear, and they filled it like a couple inches with water and then put a peanut on, and the peanut floats, so the bird would come up to the cylinder and try to reach his beak in and get the peanut, but he couldn't reach it. So they put some stones on the table, and what he would do is he'd pick up a stone and drop it in the glass cylinder, and it would make the water go up, which would make the peanut rise. So once he figured that out, he would just go over and pick up a bunch of rocks and drop them in the glass cylinder. Peanut would rise up and he'd just pick it up with his beak. He'd figured out how water works, water level works. That's pretty smart. I'm not sure too many dogs could figure that out. Or too many people for that matter. So we just did trail G20 in counterclockwise direction. We're heading back down the mountain. Talking about the crows. There's some smart suckers, and then they say that when the crows are talking back and forth like they do, they've actually got some kind of language. So when you hear them squawking back and forth, they're communicating. I heard something big up there in the woods up there. So that's pretty amazing. So we'll see. Maybe I'll take some videos of the crows.